Histoire en anglais.
The Janitor and the Millionaire.
Each morning, before the streets of Brattleboro fully woke up, an old man could be seen walking slowly down Main Street. His jacket was patched with a safety pin. His boots were worn, the kind people stop replacing after a certain age. He walked the same route every day, rain or shine, and nodded quietly to those he passed. People knew him, not well but enough to say, "That's Ron. He's always around." Ronald was born in 1921 in a small Vermont town called Dummerston. He grew up on a farm during a time when life was about work, not comfort. He was the first in his family to finish high school. To get there, he'd walk or hitchhike several miles each day. He didn't complain. That's just what you did if you wanted to learn. He served in World War II as a military policeman, spending time in Africa, Italy, and France. When he came home, he didn't talk much about it. He found a job at a gas station in Brattleboro and stayed there for 25 years, fixing cars, pumping fuel, and getting to know everyone's face. Later, he worked as a janitor at JCPenney. He pushed a broom through the aisles, cleaned the windows, and stacked the chairs in the cafe. Nobody paid him much attention. He liked it that way. Ron married once to a woman named Barbara. She was a regular at the gas station, a widow with 2 children. They bought a small house together and lived quietly until she passed away in 1970. He never remarried. He kept to a routine: breakfast at the same diner, coffee and an English muffin with peanut butter. Hours at the library, reading the Wall Street Journal and Barron's, always in the finance section. He picked up fallen branches from the woods for firewood. He drove an old car until it simply wouldn't go anymore. He lived simply, spent little, and kept to himself. When he died in 2014, at the age of 92, few expected anything unusual. A small obituary, a quiet service, a life remembered, but not in headlines. Then the news came. Ron, the janitor, the quiet man with the patched coat, had left behind a fortune, nearly $8 million. No one saw it coming. His stepson, Philip Brown, said, "I was tremendously surprised. He was a hard worker, but I don't think anyone had any idea he was a millionaire." He had spent decades reading, learning, and investing, carefully, patiently, with no financial advisor, no flashy moves, just consistency. He bought stocks in companies like General Electric and held onto them for years. He reinvested his dividends. He trusted time. Ron left $4.8 million to the Brattleboro Memorial Hospital and another $1.2 million to the Brooks Memorial Library. Both institutions were shocked. It was the largest donation either had ever received. One librarian remembered him. "He came in almost every day, always reading, quiet. You never would have guessed." A former coworker at JCPenney said, "He didn't say much. He showed up, did his job, and left. That was Ron." He bequeathed $2 million to his stepchildren, caregivers, and friends. He also left behind an antique Edison phonograph and a collection of old music cylinders to the local historical society. Even in the smallest details, his generosity showed. People in Brattleboro began to see his walks, his quiet routines, in a new light. Ron hadn't hidden his wealth, he just never thought it mattered much. He lived the way he wanted to, simple, steady, alone but not lonely. In the end, the millionaire wasn't someone from away. He wasn't loud or dressed in a suit. He didn't drive a fancy car or live in a big house. He was the man sweeping the floor, reading in the corner, tipping his cap on cold mornings. Ronald Red was a millionaire, but more than that, he was content. and that made all the difference.